Joining us on Premiere, husband and wife team, music legend, music mogul, and actress, uh, Emmanuel Edwards and Ayodele Edwards. Meet the Edwards, the parents of 2022 winner of The Voice UK. Join us on Premiere Gospel. Thank you guys for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
How is it feeling so far after the mad rush of that night, that Saturday night? I'm sure your phones totally exploded with messages, and I remember watching on screen when you, Emmanuel, your daughter hit one note. You went. How has the roller coaster been since then for both of you?
It's been a real ride. Just a lot of excitement, a lot of well wishes, a lot of just love pouring out for Anthonia. People that we haven't even seen in years who've seen the show are getting in contact. So it's been a real time to reconnect with a lot of people.
Yeah, and for me, it was so interesting watching it back. You get to relieve things that you didn't even, I know I did, but it was mind blowing, and we are extremely grateful. Watching it back made me even more grateful, and just saying, Lord, thanks for this. This is a great opportunity, and we are grateful.
So, for those who are not familiar, The Voice UK generally is considered by critics the real uh, TV competition for singers. So it's real singers that go on The Voice, unlike some of the others, and whoever comes tops is the singer of singers. And so, 2022, uh, your daughter wins it. She's in Tom Jones's team. Uh, but take us on a journey of how Antonia got there, because for many, they just seen this great singer who's come from nowhere as far as they're concerned, and is now this incredible talent who's just conquered the world, and the world has just been served to her on a plate. Let me start with you, Dad. Uh, when you think of the earliest memories of your daughter's journey in music, what are the pictures that you see?
Wow. I think the first picture I see was, I remember when Antonia used to come with us every time we went out. I was in a group, a gospel Christian group called GK Real. And I remember when we used to travel the world, or whether it's we're going up to Europe, we always used to drag her along, and she was always there with us at church on a Sunday. She's always singing, And I remember a couple of projects even I worked on. One was a Christian Aid project, and she was on that project as well. So she's always been surrounded by, music, singers. And then we worship at home. It's something we do on a daily basis, not just a thing of she's just singing. We write at home, we sing, we do what we do. How about you, babe?
Gosh, the early years, yeah, like you say, dragging Antonia to every rehearsal, to choir practice, to, for me, working in certain shows and her bringing her along with me. It's been, yeah, I think it's been since day dot. She's been around music. She's been around people either within worship or professionally on different stages. So yeah, she's soaked it all in.
Now, you are you're an accomplished actress, and actually, I was boasting in the exec meeting this morning when I was saying I was going to interview you, that actually, her voice can be heard on Premier Gospel in our promos, and everyone's like, "Oh, wow!" but but here you are, both um, art in the entertainment world. Emmanuel, before GK Real, you have a long history of work in the real world of music, and typically the children of those who in that world see not just the pretty side, they see the not so pretty side of it, and they think, no, I don't want this. um I'm sure GK Reel wasn't a breeze. I'm sure all your years in acting haven't been a breeze. How
Mm.
have you kept your daughter away from the negativity of the industry for her to say, yeah, actually, I want to sing as well?
Wow. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think that we've tried to be real with our own journeys. And so she's, watched us produce plays, be in shows, and live that life. And to be honest, I think at the beginning, Antonia has always just lifted up her songs, and she's always written in her room. She's always, musically just delved into that world. I think maybe when she looks at us, she may see people who persevere in the face of all the challenges that we've come across. We try not to get involved with like negativity within the industry. And we always think about our craft as something that God has given us to shine light in the world. And I think maybe that's the aspect that she's taken, because she wants to, bring her voice and shine her
Hey,
light in the world.
you talk about shining light. How did you see over the period? Because the process, actually, maybe you could paint a picture for us of the process of the journey of the voice, because it's quite long.
Mm,
Take us through that and tell us how you saw her faith shine through over. Because I guess there were you couldn't do the journey for her, but you
mm,
certainly were on the journey with her. So take us on
definitely
the journey to from the beginning to the finals, and how did Antonia's faith come through
come
uh
through. Okay.
and the light shine?
So at the point that she applied to do the voice, or she was, someone had sent her a message and said they think she should apply. At that point, she was in her second year of her nursing degree.
Okay.
She had just gone back after taking some time out. And so when she applied for the when she applied for the show, she just said, "Oh, I've applied for the show." And we were like, "Okay, cool." And then she had the audition, and then it's like, okay, I got through. But at this point, she was waiting actually to finish her dissertation for her nursing. And I think at this point, it was just, look, I'm going to become a nurse soon. And so let me just go on this musical journey and see where it lands me, because very soon I'm
Now,
going to
Mum,
get gone.
let me interrupt you a second.
Okay.
Dad, if Antonia had asked you before she applied, would you have said go for it, or would you have said, I don't think it's a good idea, knowing what these talent competitions can be like and knowing what you know of the industry?
Well, when she actually asked, she came to me and said, "Oh, Dad, what do you think about this? Someone's asked me to go on the show," and I said to her, "Yeah, do it." Um, Part of the reason I say that is she's got to live her own experience. We do this thing in our house where it's like once a month we say, "Okay, guys, what are we going to do this week that's going to challenge this month that's going to challenge us?" And the thing is always not to be afraid. Sometimes you have to take that step of faith. Knowing what I know about the industry, I could have easily said, you know what, actually, no, we can take a different route, because we had other plans with Antonia. Our plan was when she completed her nursing degree, we were going to go into spend some time doing music on the side and get that developed and then get her signed. But there's something about just I had faith and I knew all will be well. And I know God's ways is totally different from ours. And when she
Mhm.
said to me, "Oh, what do you think about me going on the show?" I just thought, you know what? They do it. It's going to dare you, it's going to challenge you. It's not about, for us, it's not about winning. It's more just about the experience, because she needs to make her own experience in spite of what
Right.
I've done.
So, Mum, what were that you can remember? Of course, the winning was the high point. That's the point where the baby is born. We're all looking at the baby, thinking, "Oh my God, looks so beautiful." What was some of the difficult points in the journey for for both you and your husband and Antonia that you could see, and how did the Jesus thing help through that?
Wow. I think the further in she got into the competition, she also had this degree on her mind. Like, because I think when she went for one of the auditions, she said she was she was studying nursing. And it's just that, oh my gosh, if this thing goes out and I haven't completed, what is that going to do? Am I, just questioning yourself and the uncertainty. And I think what we came away with was just that, look, you need to just go through the process. We're here for you, no matter what the outcome.
Yeah.
Even with the nursing, it's like, we just wanted her to finish because she started it. And whether she went on to become a nurse or it actually doesn't matter. I think her mental health at one point was the most important thing, even through the degree. It was, look, it's great, but whatever you do now, you're going to have to live with it. So however we can help you, however we can support, know that we're here, and, whatever comes your way, it's really hard to put into words because it was ebbs and flows, moments on the mountain, and then moments of just like, oh my gosh, am I going to be able to finish my dissertation on time and hand it in? Am I going to be able to learn? There's one point she was learning like how many songs?
30 years.
She was doing like learning so many songs so that she could have something to pull from. And when you've sung all the songs and you've done it in all the different ways that you can do it, what more do you do? You just have to trust and go for it.
So some people might say Antonia had an unfair advantage because you are you're a singer, you're an actress. Dad is a singer, songwriter who has history of being signed by major labels, and then both of you had a major gospel group. You traveled the world, so it was totally unfair. I mean, she had to win. I mean,
No, I disagree. I think Antonia put in a lot of work. Beyond the talent, there's also a mental. I think the way that we've seen her grow so much through this process is just that mental agility, that being able to like really go for what you believe in, regardless of what we've done, regardless of the spaces. She has to carve out this thing for herself. She's had to like, she was the one on stage. We were like, yeah, we're supporting you, babe. We're supporting you. But she was the one that was learning the song. She did the work. So I think because she put the work in, and also there were other contestants who had been singing for a long time, who, had done all the rounds, the wedding singing, and, they had experience in singing. It's just that, Antonia's was in her room and
even Antonia, the thing, like many people don't know, like there were times Antonia's done sound engineering, she's done video work. I've had to pull her in, so she didn't just start from nowhere.
I was going to ask you that because typically people think, okay, Antonia, she's from church, gospel, so she must have been singing gospel all this time. But actually, there was a whole chunk of time where she was just with you, Dad, behind the mixing desk, mixing other people's sounds, setting up speakers, breaking it down.
This is it.
How? I mean, for someone watching who thinks, I want to excel, and someone is saying to them, "Come on, work with me on the sound desk," and they think, but that's not what I want to do. I want to be on stage singing. How important is that part of it?
Sorry.
Bless you.
For us, yeah, thank you. What I always say to my daughters is every experience is an experience. And it's another thing you're adding to already what you know or what you want to become. And we don't take experiences for granted. So we had no option. Antonia had to come with us in certain things. And when she got to an age where she can make her own decisions, I think because she's already around music, it was only wise. And she's a server. She gives her all in church. She's not the type that waits for something to come to her. Just like her father, we make things happen. So when she's at church and she's hearing stuff, she's like, Dad, how complicated can this thing be? She puts herself forward, and it's just how we are as a family. And so for her, she's had to do those grinds. She's had to lead worship even when she didn't think I'm ready. She's had to go. And half of the time, it's not really, I think it's probably because me and the mom in our home, we create an environment of safety in regards to when you fail, it's okay. It's just an experience we've learned. Let's move on. So I think that gives our girls the freedom to want to just dare themselves and just go for it. And I think with Anthonia, it's just, she's, like I said, she's done videos, she's done sound engineering. So you you give her there's been times when me and the mom, we've probably been on tour somewhere. She's had to be in church to hold things down. And from everything. And she's very, very organized, she knows what she's doing. Yeah. Very professional. That's the word, yeah.
So the two of you look too young to have her for a daughter. I mean, you look like you're
Thank
20
you, sir.
yourself. But I'd want for you to just capture in maybe three important things that you as parents think are necessary to groom a champion like your daughter. You can think. I'll give you a moment to think about it. While you're thinking about it, here's a question. So where is Anthonia now? What's next for her? I mean, because when you look at the journey of others, I mean, there's Jazz, who you both know very well, who was a contestant. There's been other people from the gospel world who've been contestants, and actually the youngest ever winner of The Voice was a gospel singer herself. And so there's this legacy, and to a degree, there's it's almost like they're markers of, okay, this is what these people have done, and okay, so these are this is how far it can go, or how far it will go. So the question is, where is Anthonia now, and what's ahead for her?
Antonia's currently, well, as you know, she's signed to EMI, but she's writing at the moment. She's getting into different rooms and just exploring her musicality. I think that this whole process is an opportunity, really. I think from now that she's won, it's like, what do you want to do? And we've been saying that to her from like every step of the way. What do you want? What do you want? And she's like, I want to create music. I want to write. And so that's the opportunity that she's been given now. And she's enjoying it so far. She's got a few singing things that she's gone on to do, but it's just the beginning. This is not the end. It's just the beginning of, whatever she wants to carve out in this industry.
And just before we answer the other question, about three things, I think for us, like I've always said to Anthonia, it's okay. It's a journey. So just enjoy it right now. Do and maximize it as much as you can, because in spite of what happens, we know all is well. And I totally hear where you're coming from about, it's almost like sometimes the artists, when they go through these things, there's only a certain place they get to. But with us, the kind of family we are, like we kind of like, we've got different businesses. This is not the end though. And like I said, also, we don't wait for things to happen. So in spite of what happens there, it doesn't stop what we are doing and what we're building as a family. So as we keep just saying to Anthonia, it's okay. So it's all right. Whatever happens, just make sure that you are enjoying this process, because there's more to come, either from the label or from, I don't know, her team, but also more from God. This is just like I was saying, the stepping stone. I mean, I just got some stuff planned, and we always pull on our family to help projects that we're doing. I mean, currently we've just built a little film studio, which we're working from today. It's a combination of daughters, family, all of us coming together and doing what we do. So we're excited really about that. And in regards to, sorry, Karen.
So here I am. I'm a parent. I want my daughter to be on The Voice or one of those, and I just want from you the three things that I should do to make my daughter the champion like yours, right? So give me the secret, mummy. Give me the secret, daddy.
Wow, what is the secret? Natural bent is one. I think sometimes, when we see things pop off, we think, oh, that would be great for you. But we have to look at the child's natural bent and whatever God has said concerning said
So when you say
child.
natural abilities,
Natural abilities, yeah.
okay.
Anthonia has grown up. She has soaked all of this in, and now she gets to carve out her own journey. We don't really believe in pushing children into things because it doesn't work.
Okay. So number one is natural ability,
Yeah.
know it, and then groom it.
Yes. And then also, it's not about kind of parents have a plan for their child. God has a plan for their child, and the child has a plan for themselves. And so it's like, how do you marry all of that together? There can be contention if you try to exert your will, even over God's. There can be contention where, where the child is like, I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and it just ends up in rebellion. If there is no, if there's no place where the child thinks that they're being rebellious, then they can fully be themselves. I'm not sure if I worded that correctly. So it's about supporting and being patient.
Yeah.
Okay, so one is their natural ability. Two is knowing God's will and working through God's will and what your will as a parent, the child's will, and a third thing would be what?
I would say to start the journey now. You don't wait for something to happen. So, for example, what I mean by that is Anthonia sings. She goes to events. She's been singing for time. She's sang on friends' album and stuff like that. So you don't wait. Your child shouldn't wait till the show or whatever comes up. They can actually start from now to practice. And a way to do that is starting to take them out or going to support them, encouraging them. Oh, so you like doing stand-up? Oh man, can I come and watch you and stuff like that? And they're like, oh, okay. Start to support them in that area from now. So I think start the journey before the job comes.
Okay, mommy has something.
Yeah, I was going to say something. A message was sent to me that what performing arts school did my daughter go to, and she didn't go to performing arts school as such. Because
maybe she went to the performing arts school that you guys are about to start.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say. Because
no, because I think at the moment, because parents are seeing all of these opportunities of what their child could be or the things that they didn't get to do, people are shedding out loads of money for their child to just go and engage in something. But actually, whatever it is may already be in your home. It may be something that, like join a choir. It's free to join a choir. Just if you enjoy singing, be part of. But there's so many clubs. And then if you think about going through all the different things that your child wants to do, you'll just be paying for stuff and you won't be sure what's going to land. So I think we've just cultivated an environment where, where the kids can be creative and crazy. And
so
it's a really hard question.
Our time is almost up, and I just want to ask one more question. Maybe the penultimate question. So 5 years from now, where would you like to see your daughter? Dad, you have been in groups. You have been that's gone on to be mega groups. You have had the opportunity to be in spaces with the likes of Jay-Z. You have written records that's been on national radio. You've traveled around the world with groups and all that. Mum, you put on plays that thousands have watched. You have traveled around, and you're doing what many dream of doing. 5 years from now, where would you like to see Anthonia? If you can tell me that in 60 seconds.
Presenting, writing shows for music, directing.
Yeah.
producing TV shows.
Definitely producing TV shows.
Passionate about.
And mentoring
writing number
others.
1 albums, mentoring others. Writing with like all her favorite artists.
Well, producing her music and definitely empowering others. She's definitely a mentor. Definitely.
And for parents who want to get in touch with you to say, please, I'm out my mind, I don't know what to do, how to raise little Charlie, he's driving me mad, but he's got talent. How can they get in touch with? Can they get in touch with you? Are you available?
Yes, we are. Because
can churches get in touch with you? You can come and train their children.
We are definitely available. I mean, there's a couple of things we're working on. One is called Sing If You Want To. It's a thing to really empower young people, to just prepare them for whatever their thing is, whether it's singing, whether it's speech, whatever that is. So we're working on that at the moment. But if people want to reach us, we have a website called We Are The Edwards. So you could go to info@wearetheedwards.com. info@wearetheedwards.com if you want to get in touch with us. And just whatever it is, you're not alone. We're here. We want to be able to support. Same way many have supported us, we want to do the same. So please, yes, do get in touch.
Emmanuel Edwards, Edwards, thank you so much for speaking to us. And we will play that clip about 5 years' time back to you when your daughter is hosting The Voice UK herself.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for speaking to us on Premier.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay.